was I was talking about our bedroom here. Now, what I've done, this is going to be the bedroom. A full-size bed. Gail and I have to start liking each other again. We'll have to get rid of our California King so the dogs aren't going to be able to sleep with us. But this is where the closet's going to be. We're going to put a closet in here. And because we really don't have room for a dresser or anything, we're going to take the side where I've got the service panel and run a couple of bars across there at different heights for our hanging clothes. And then on this side will be shelves for socks and underwear and things like that. Because we don't need a whole lot, it's just the two of us. So we're not going to need, big walk-in closets or anything. Nobody needs that. And what I've done is installed my service panel. It'll go back behind where the bars are, so I have access to it in case I need it. But that was the best place to install it. And I think what I'll do now, because it's up in place, it's easier to work on and do, I'll show you how I'm going to run my wiring. I wanted to run all of the wiring today, but I got out here and guess what? When the thieves struck, one more thing they took that I didn't realize was my box with all my drill bits in it. So I have no drill bits to drill through to run all the wiring. But I will show you how I'm going to wire in the circuit breakers. It's a little different than what I was saying on the other video. I was talking to Nick and trying to answer questions to Nick, so I didn't really get to explain it. So because I have no drill bits here to actually run all of the real wiring, I've got a piece of scrap wiring that I cut off of a bunch we took out of that house that we tore down next to us in Wheeling. And I'm going to put this in a circuit to show you how it's done, or at least how I'm going to do it. First thing I'm going to do is strip this, and I'm going to kind of measure about what I'm going to need here, because it's going to come up through a knockout down here. This people call a home run. This is a home run. This will be what comes back from all the circuits in this bedroom, and it's going to come through and up in this panel and then go into one of the circuit breakers. So I'm going to strip it all the way back to about here, because I'm going to put it on this circuit breaker. So I'm going to strip this thing to about here and make my cut. And I'll tell you a little trick that I've learned over the years. What I'm going to do, before I strip it back, I'm going to take a Sharpie, and let's say this is my bedroom. I'm going to write bedroom on the end of this. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. So, I've got my wire stripped. Remember, this is the piece I pulled off that I wrote bedroom on. So I'm going to cut that piece off. And I'm going to slide it back over these before I put them in the panel. After I bring it up through the hole. So I'll put that piece back on. And what that's going to do, once I get this in now, not only will I mark over here, or on the door, what this circuit's to. Anybody that needs to work on this house will see this group of wires is the bedroom. And I'll have these on every home run that I bring through. We'll have one of these pieces of the insulation left. Just a little tip. If somebody else comes in here and works on this house, they'll be able to see that even if the label's missing. They'll know where this group of wires goes. So, now we've done that. Remember, the bare copper wire is ground, white is neutral, black is hot. So, this bus bar is for both the ground wire and the neutral wire. They're going to plug into these. Each circuit has two of them. Each circuit breaker. So I'm going to strip this wire back about maybe a ½ inch. And it helps to have a wife around who will sweep up all these little pieces that I'm throwing everywhere.
Oh, did you bring your wife with you?
Yes, she's here somewhere. So now I have everything stripped back. And I'm going to take these wires, my white neutral wire and my ground, and put a bend in them. A 90-degree bend. And what's going to happen is I'm going to pull this breaker out. Now I'll zoom in for you. So I have my white neutral and my bare copper wire, which is the ground. I'm going in this circuit right here. So I like to use the two outside ones. So what I'll do, loosen up these screws. And I'll put my ground in. It slides in there. I'll put my ground in. Get it good and tight. Then I'll put my neutral in its spot on this bar. Tighten it down. Make sure you're good and tight. So there's my white and neutral in the bus bar, or my ground and my neutral into this bus bar. These two bus bars will be grounded to the box, to the grounding rod outside. Then I'll take my circuit breaker. I'm not watching the camera, so hopefully this all shows up. And I'll put my hot in here. Put a little bend on it to make it easier. Put that in. Tighten that back down. Then, and there, then I'll put this down, and I'll bring up my next wire through here. My next home run from the bathroom will come up through here, and I'll cut it a little bit longer. Give me more room to go onto these two, and then let the wire set on the outside of this. So all my wires are kind of flat against there. and it keeps the service panel from looking like a rat's nest with wires going everywhere. So kind of think ahead of when you're cutting your home run and you're going to put it into place of where you're going to put it. But now we have a completed circuit. If I had power coming in here, I'd flip this breaker on and my bedroom would be live if all this ran out to the bedroom. But that's all you have to do. But that's how simple that is. If I did something wrong, be sure and let me know. Now we're going to start putting all my game boxes in where we want our receptacles at and our light switches. And then I'll show you that when we're done.